Taoiseach, the overnight closure of the Grafton College English Language School, just 3 weeks before Christmas, comes as a terrible shock to hundreds of students, to 25 workers, several of whom are affected by a closure of this type, not for the first or the second, but for the third time, and brings into focus the question of precarious work in this sector, a sector worth €1.5 billion plus to the economy. I visited the lunchtime rally today organised by the teachers and their unions Unite. Those teachers are determined that their sector will become an organised, unionised sector so that employers like this can't walk all over their rights. However, they also want to see legislative change. Now, the Qualification Quality Assurance Bill is in the Shannon at the moment. It provides for an international education mark. Will you support the amendment, which also calls for a fair employment mark, to cut out unethical and even illegal activities by employers in this sector?
Thank you, Deputy.
Bogus self-employment, zero-hour contracts and so on. And in conclusion, Count Corla, will you support the amendment for not just a learner protection fund but a teacher protection fund, and ensure that these workers,
now, Deputy,
3 weeks before Christmas, get the money that they need? They haven't been paid for 5 weeks now.
Deputy, you're over time.
They have to buy presents for the kids, they have to pay the rent, and the social insurance fund should be activated immediately to assist them. Would
Deputy
you support that as well?
On the same matter, please.
Yeah, just on the same matter, Taoiseach, I was down there last night when the teachers occupied the building for a brief period. They did that out of desperation because they don't know what to do with no wages, money that's owed to them. The owner has just disappeared off into the night, and they are left completely high and dry. And I was talking to one teacher who I know quite well, actually, and this is the third time this has happened to him. Third time. And you remember back, it wasn't long ago when we had a number of these schools collapsed. There was supposed to be protections put in place. There were some protections for students, but none whatsoever for teachers. And that's just not acceptable.
Okay.
This can't keep happening to these highly qualified people.
Please.
So can you fast track the social insurance fund? Can you talk about a teacher protection fund? And can you also smooth the way, just as briefly, smooth the way for any social welfare difficulties they may have coming into Christmas?
Right, okay. Minister for Justice.
Of the legislation, Count Corla, can I confirm to the deputies, as they will know, this is a matter for my colleague Minister Mary Mitchell O'Connor, who I'm sure will be available to answer questions by way of topic at issue or otherwise. But can I say, from my perspective, my concern is for the students involved, and I want to acknowledge what Deputy Barry has said in respect of protections for students, and can I urge any students who may be affected by this possible closure to contact MEI, Marketing Education of Ireland, and can I assure the deputies that officials from my department and officials from the Department of Education are available to see how best this issue can be managed, with a view towards reassigning students to other language schools, or also the matter of the learner protection insurance and a refund of fees already paid.
Thank you, Minister.